following is a presentation of TFNN. Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the September 12th terrific Thursday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call a life of abundance. You know, wealth is a word that conjures up a wide variety of images. And in fact, that's one of my outcomes each morning when I provide us with the tools that help us to lead an inspired life. Because that is where dreams are. That's where inspiration comes from. And that is where true incentive is born. You know, to one person, wealth means having enough financial substance to be able to do whatever they wish to with their life. To another, it may mean freedom from debt, and someone else might define wealth as just simply opportunity. There's a wealth of experience, there's the wealth of friends, the wealth of love, the wealth of family, and of course, the wealth of culture. The key is decide for yourself what it is that wealth means to you. When you do that, all you need to do is latch onto your own mental image, put together a plan to increase your wealth, and guess what? You will live a life of abundance. Let's go check out the abundance in this marketplace out here. Right now, well, it's kind of a flat morning. We've got Dow futures are up 1 point, trading at 15,331. S&P down a point at 1687. NASDAQ futures up a couple of points this morning. King dollar up 10 ticks. The currency market, they're relatively calm out there. Looks like maybe with the exception of the South African rand. Of course, we can take a look at the hard currencies. That's where we're seeing the biggest move in the markets. Goldilocks down by $34, and that's where we're going to start off this morning. We're going to be taking a look at the gold, silver. Light sweet crude is up $1 right now. That's trading out at 108.61. Quick peek around the globe, see what we have going on out here over in Europe this morning. DAX is up 7 points. FTSE's up 7 points, so a flat market there as well. A little bit of a mixed bag over in Asia last night. The Hang Seng was up 16. That was flat because that's an index that closed at 22,953, so 16 points. That's not even a blip on the screen. The Shanghai, that was up 15 points. That's up about 0.6%, so more than a blip there. And the Nikkei back 37 points. Of course, we know that the Nikkei had made that was a 0.618 or 0.786 retracement, so pullback was a likely outcome there. And that's what's interesting if you are watching us on TigerTV, or perhaps you're one of the lucky ones that's inside the Tiger's Den watching our charts on HD. In fact, you could get inside the Tiger's Den right here, right now. You can get in there for free for the next couple of days, folks. Just go over to the homepage at TFNN.com. In fact, you can test drive it for 30 days, and you'll be able to see all these charts in HD. That means you'll be able to see the expansions and contractions of swing points. And right now, with gold having moved down to a level of 1326, what it's really done, it's done a 1.272 expansion. Right now it says 1.36 on my screen out here. And that's the expansion of a set of swing points. That's that being the low of August 22nd, that low 1354.50, to the high that was put in just a few trading sessions later on August 28th out at 1434. What it also is and represents is a 0.618 retracement off of the August 7th low to the same high. So again, that low would be on August 7th, 1271.80. all the way up to the high that was put in on August 28th out at 1434. It also is just about the 0.382 retracement off of the real low that came in on gold on June 28th. So June 28th, that low at 1179.40 all the way up to that high. So we're going to see if this area here holds. This should be a strong area of support. Now, if this area fails, the question should be, Steve-O, where would price move down to? Well, it would move down to the next level. So let's take a look at what those next levels are, because we can draw those in advance. We're going to use the exact same swing points. So We're going to start with the one from August 22nd to the top out here. The 1.618 area, as you can see, is 1305. So that would be an expansion of that swing point. Now let's take a look at the contraction of the August 7th low to the high out here on August 28th. Let's see where 0.786 would run us into. So let's go take a look at that. I'll go ahead and try to put this in a little bit of a different color. And you can see the 0.786 level is 1306. So at 1306, 1305, we've got a 1.618 expansion, and we have a 0.786 retracement. Now, let's come off of the low all the way down here from June the 28th all the way up to that same high. We're using the same swing point out here, and what we've got is, well, we don't have a coordinated effort there, because the 618 retracement will take us all the way down into the swing point from August 28th out there. So we'll see. Right now it looks like the 1330-ish area is going to fail. Looks like it's going to fail out there, and that would say that what we should see is the next area of support, potential support. Remember, you want to wait till you see some type of reversal out there. It's going to be in about the 1306 level. So right now it's at 1329, so you're down about another, $23 or so, and we've got Goldilocks back 34. So it's up against an area of support. Looks like it's failing. In fact, what we should do is just simply, let's go down into a intraday chart out here. Let's just go ahead and put a 30-minute chart on the screen. Give me a minute here for all of this stuff to refresh. Of course, there we go. Okay, there we go. So now as we take a look at the 30-minute chart out here, let me put a couple other tools on here, on this chart here real quickly for us, see what we can do. So we can see on the 30-minute chart into that extreme oversold condition out here. I want to see if there's any other patterns. Let's look at expansion of swing points first. We'll go ahead and put that tool on the screen, see if I see anything. Now I'm going to have to do this manually here. Just looking for some other pattern. So let's go take a look at this pattern here. See if there's any kind of Gartley pattern that also formed this morning as we came into, as gold came into this price here. So that's your A to B equals CD that it's picking up on my screen. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that A to B equals CD down right now is looking like. That says, so there's your A to B equals CD, but that retracement, only about a 50% retracement. That would say, if we take a look at the 30-minute chart, even though it's in that extreme oversold territory, that 1305 range is more likely the target on the 30-minute chart. So if we go back, because I don't remember the number off the top of my head, was it 1305-ish? Yeah, it was 1305, where on the larger chart, on the daily chart, we found some resistance. So it says to me we should see a move down to about 1305 here before we get the next piece of information, and that would be on Goldilocks right now, trading out at 1330, off $32 out there. And, folks, that may be setting up a wonderful buying opportunity. But, of course, you want to make sure that you're using a trading plan and a system and a set of patterns out there in order to identify that. Let's go take a look at Hi-Ho Silver. Let's go see what it is doing right now, trading out at $22.27. That's off nearly 4% here this morning. So on this pullback, it does have some room to run. In fact, if you take a look at my screen here, I'll go ahead and erase a few things out here. Let's, in fact, erase now, I don't want to erase too much. But let me get rid of the moving averages for the moment here, because those are easy to go ahead and put back in. We're just going to clear up the chart. I'm going to get rid of this area right there. And so what you can see here in silver is going to be kind of interesting is what I've put on my screen here. I've formed a rising price channel that silver has pretty much been contained within. Certainly, as we take a look at the upper boundary line, what I'm using here is, in essence, the close on June 19th and the open here on June 20th. So that makes sense. There's 2 touch points. And you can see we basically have 3 touch points along the tops. The close of August 26th, that close was 24.31. The close on August 27th, that was at 24.50. And then the open on August 28th. So it seems like the upper portion of the price channel is pretty well in check here. And along the bottom side, you can see here that silver now running right into the bottom of that rising price channel. So it's going to be, well, let me go ahead and put the expansion contraction tool up on my screen here. You can see about a 1.272 expansion is what we'll see in silver. Let's just do this manually here, just as we did on Goldilocks. We'll go from this swing point right here on August 22nd up to the high on August 28th. You can see the 1.272, about $21.72. So should at least go ahead and spike that level. Low so far, 22.06. Let's take a look at retracements. We'll go ahead and leave this on here. We'll see if we've got any coordinated points of attack here And as we take a look at the retracement level, you see at about 2140 is the 0.618 retracement. So somewhere right around, maybe I could have used this swing point right here. It's a little bit lower low. Let's go ahead and do that. That's just 2 sessions back on August the 20th all the way up to the high out there. So you can see right here at the, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. At the 2150 level, you've got the 1.272 expansion of a swing point and a 0.618 retracement. Let's actually see what the retracement is off of the lows out here on June 28th. And let's see if we've got anything else that helps us out there. Now, it's below that 0.382 level. So what does that tell us, folks? It tells us the following things. If inside silver, first, if this rising price channel fails, then it says that price will go down and test the 2140, 2150 level. And if that fails, what that says is really $20.83 would where we would get our next piece of information about silver in its price. Why? Because that is the 0.618 retracement level. So that is on the metals. Let's take a quick peek as long as we're in here. Let's go take a look at light sweet crude. Let's see what it is doing. It's trading up right now about 90 cents out at 108.47. Again, just really been consolidating in the sideways trading range ever since July 5th out here. But again, it does look to me like this is just really coiling for higher price out there. And of course, we know that there's 2 consolidation patterns that are competing for a price objective of somewhere between the 114 to the 116 area, and the high that we saw here, this was a shooting star August 28th, so it should have some resistance at the 112.24 level. But the way that it is just really working off its overbought condition, which took place all the way back here on July 19th, you can see just simply a move sideways to work that off. So looks like we're getting, looks like light sweet crude getting ready to coil and go hit those targets, and it's probably in those ranges where we want to take a look at a short position in light sweet crude. We'll be right back, folks.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
TFNN is having an open house in the Tiger's Den for 2 weeks, and the best part is that everyone is invited and you just have to be a member at TFNN. The open house in the Tiger's Den has already begun and will last through our week-long virtual trading competition, which ends September 13th. Use this time to exchange trading ideas with other traders in the virtual chat room and to discuss trading strategy. For all the information and to take part in the Tiger's Den open house, log on to TFNN.com today. McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. No real changes out there in the market. Now, during the break, I was trying to do just a couple of quick searches out here just to get some data. I meant to do it last night, early this morning, just didn't get around to it. Yesterday I talked about the iPhone and how I think everybody is missing the boat out here. Now, I don't really know what Apple has in store for that for the new feature. I can only imagine that they think in terms of being game changers. It's the way that each of us should always think about the business that we're in. It's so important to always ask the question, what business am I in? But more importantly, what business should I be in? And what I put out there yesterday was put out the idea, because I sure don't hear it being talked about much on any of the media stations that were covering this whole thing. I think they've totally missed the boat here, and that is this, that the next revolution, the next change in being able to utilize your phone as your entire payment feature and getting rid of the credit cards for the most part that you would use out there, as long as they've got that security feature built in. And people can argue back and forth whether or not you're giving your fingerprints away to the NSA or what have you. That's not really, that to me, that's really not the issue out there. And when you take a look at how many iPhones are actually in use around the world, it's over 1 billion. I don't know, maybe it's 1.5 billion actual iPhone users. I'm not talking about iPhones sold, just actual users out there. And that number continues certainly to grow, and they're not the bigger part of it. But if you take a look at 1.5 billion times whatever the average charges are through debit cards and credit cards, the spend out there, and then you go ahead and take 2% of those transactions, 2%. You see, with Carl Icahn trying to raid the coffers of Apple, if I were Tim Cook, I would look him straight in the eyes and say, you don't have a clue as to what we're really doing out here. Of course, I can't really say that to him, but I would say it to him. You don't have a clue because what we're going to do is we're going to become the largest credit card company and bank. Because that's what they can do with all those funds out there. You see, they can bankroll this whole thing. Now, that means not only are they going to get the full 2% or 2.5% that they grab from the businesses that go ahead and use those cards, but when you then start to take a look at the actual financing rates, which are what? I don't know, 14%, 15%? I don't even know what the rates are on the credit cards that they've got out there. But certainly they're well above what it is that is in the marketplace. I mean, you're talking about a huge cash cow. And we took a look at the stocks that are out there. Just take a look at Visa. That's at $186 a share. You've got MasterCard at $658. What was interesting, too, is nobody's talking about it. Yesterday we saw moves up inside each of those stocks, even eBay out there. So the moves were higher in there, but I think that and I may just write a letter to Tim Cook. It would have been much easier if Steve Jobs was alive, because I have his phone number, so I just called his office. But I just got to believe that that's really what is in place out there, because they don't need, they don't need to offshoot they don't need to offshoot. They can fund the whole thing. I mean, it's a huge deal. So I just want to do the numbers out there, just get some of the statistics, see what they would be, because my opinion is it absolutely dwarfs what their current business is, where they've in essence really capitalized on and how they have changed the music industry altogether. So I think that next big change out there, in fact, the reason why I want to do that is used to be a fundamental investor. And so this is really more of a fundamental shift. I don't really talk about fundamentals too often on a show, but when I do see something like this take place, and again, I don't know what they're doing, but I can see where this would be a fundamental change in the company. Keep pushing that price lower, because when I take a look at this, Apple, if that's in fact what they're doing, I'd like to buy that stock, stick it in a drawer for my grandkids out there, because I think that would absolutely be huge out there. And if I were Visa, MasterCard, eBay, those companies, boy, I'd be looking to start partnering with some Google phones. In fact, if I were Apple, what Apple doesn't do is they typically don't license that technology. You know what? The whole key is the question. Bill Gates was able to turn Microsoft into what it is that he did by asking one questions. In the mornings, I talked to you about, questions control our focus. They do for you, they do for me. Bill Gates's question was, how could he be the intelligence behind all computers out there? That was really the power of his question and his focus, and he stayed on course all of the way out there. That's where Apple in the past has missed the boat, and they could actually be the intelligence behind in fact, they can say behind all of the way that credit cards would be, or credit transactions would take place, debit transactions would take place out there. So they could control the whole kit and caboodle. Don't know if they'll license it, but man, wish I were in that driver's seat. In any event, 877-927-6648. I'm off my horse now, but you can bet I'm going to do some of the calculations just to understand how big that business could be. We'll be right back, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter, Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position, for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com. Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow up 3 points. So nobody really out of the gate. You got the S&P down 1. Composite is flat, off 85 cents. Russell 2000 down 36 cents. Apple up $2 and change. Microsoft back 2 ticks. Google up 29 cents, leading the charge to the upside. You've got Dominion Resources, ticker symbol D out there. That's up 5% this morning, up $2.91. Sterling Financial Corp, STSA, up a nice 10% this morning. They're up $2.70. Azimil Holdings, ASML, that's up about 3%, up $2.55. Pandora Media, that's up a couple bucks. That's up 10% this morning. So they're having a nice day. We'll take a look at that stock chart if I can remember to do that. Cena Corp up about 2%, $2 as well. To the downside, Men's Warehouse getting smoked this morning here. MW is a ticker symbol. They're off 11%. That's down $4 and change. Netflix off $5. I think they were up yesterday, down today. Lululemon, that's getting kiboshed. That's down about $4.50, off about 6.5% as we speak. You've got some of the gold companies, gold equities. Rand Gold is off. Gold Corp is off. Silver Wheaton is off. So you can expect that with the pressure that we are seeing on the metal prices. Our call number 877-927-6648. Let's go. What do we want to check out first? Should we go check out the ES Mini? Just kind of see what it is doing. I kind of skipped over that as I got into different thought process here at the open. So we've got the 30-minute chart up on my screen here, and just trying to identify, what did the ES Mini do? What did the S&P futures do? Well, last night, again, that's why I suggest, you go ahead and use this indicator, the relative strength indicator, which is a momentum indicator out there. So it's measuring momentum, which is wonderful, and you're using the upper and lower thresholds of momentum. It's what I term also as overbought and oversold. And you know that when price gets into that area, when that indicator gets into that area, it needs to work itself off. And coming in yesterday at 5 o'clock in the evening, 5 to 5:30, we saw push up into the 1690 level. And at 1690, it was truly an overbought status, and that meant that it needed to move sideways or pull back in order to work off that condition. And that's what it did the entire evening long out there. So neither overbought nor oversold. out here. Right now it's trading out at 16.86. What it wants to do today after it just sells off a bit here, what it looks like it wants to do today is go ahead and complete its move. And what would its move be? Well, if we go take a look at the actual daily continuous contract, its move would be getting up and testing that swing point high, which is both on August the 2nd as well as August the 5th. 1705 is the area we can see here, coming up nicely yesterday into that 0.786 retracement level, which was 1687. You're trading at 1686 right now, but it looks to me like it wants to complete this move. Of course, part of the pullback here, to be expected when you take a look at that lower RSI indicator that I've got out there. So that's all that we see here right now. Of course, yesterday we were talking about the NASDAQ being the NQ being what we really had to be paying attention to and watching, because that had the opportunity, mostly because of Apple, to go ahead and form a bearish reversal signal. Well, that did not take place. You had this little doji candle here, but a doji at a resistance level, that's a dangerous thing because it does tell you that the market is tired. Of course, we know as we take a look at that rising price channel out here, that price was bumping right up against that area. So right now the leaves are falling off of the trees out here, the apple trees, perhaps, or perhaps not, and it is at 31.74. Of course, very good support should be found at about the 31.40 level. That's where we saw a couple of different reversal patterns. So between 31.40 to the area of about 31.40, 31.48 is where it should find some level of support. If those levels break, then it'll come all the way back down to that May 22nd high out there, which is about the 30.53-ish range. Had a request to go take a look at Las Vegas Sands out here, so let's go do that right now. LVS is the ticker symbol. Let's take a look at what this stock chart here is doing. Where did I put it? Right here, I think, in this tab right here, into earnings. So as we take a look at Las Vegas Sands, now, here is a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern that we're looking at. That completed on the trading session of February 1st, 2013. Now, when a 0.786 Gartley buy or sell pattern fails, what it oftentimes does is it turns into a butterfly, and that's what it's attempting to do here. Now, in this case here, it actually did begin the pullback. Now, the first move of any Gartley pattern is going to be a 0.382 retracement. In this case here, we're going to go from our A point to our D point. The D point being where it completed, and the 0.382 retracement level is 48.16. That level was hit twice, two separate times. You had a hammer candle that actually showed up inside this equity right back here on February 21st as it got down to a low of 48.29, 48.16 being the dead cat bounce, being the 0.382 level. We saw price move back down there again on June the 24th. Of course, as it was moving down there, it also got into the extreme oversold condition. It, like the market, bounced. However, in this case here, the April 12th, 2012 high, 62.09, was its high, and it took that level out. Now, let me get rid of the retracement levels here. Let's go take a look at what Las Vegas Sands perhaps is doing. Now, we're going to take a look here at that high, at that swing point. We need to go back a little bit further to the left, so we'll do that momentarily, or maybe I'll put it on a weekly chart out here. But as we take a look at that level, the April 12th high, 62.09, and that had volume of 14 million shares. And what Las Vegas Sands did here on the trading session from September 10th was it got over that level on lighter volume, but it gapped up. You're talking wide price spread, so there was another gap here, it looks like, right in between the sessions of September 6th and September the 9th out there. So over that weekend, we saw a gap up, and then we saw a second gap right here. Now, albeit on lighter volume, what does that set up? Well, it sets up coming back and testing that area, see if that will hold as a support level. 61.20 is what we're referring to. And if, in fact, it does hold as a support level, which I suspect that it will, let's go see where this would travel to, because what you want to do is take a look at the 1.272 expansion. The 1.272 expansion of this, if this 0.786 Gartley sell turns into a butterfly, that would send price up into about the 69.53 range, and that is on Las Vegas Sands out there. Let me see what else we've got here that is moving in the marketplace this morning. So to the downside, Lululemon, L-U-L-U is the ticker symbol. So let's go see what Lululemon is doing. That was, I believe they were out with either comp sales or numbers. Let me see if I can find out what's actually moving Lululemon here. Let's see if I've got their numbers. Yeah, their Q2 net revenues look like they were up 22%, $344 million versus $282. So revenue-wise is nice. I don't see the net income handy. Net income, here we go, $56 million versus $57. So it beat the top line, but not the bottom line out here. Let's go see what this is going to see, what kind of volume we've got coming out of Lululemon here. Now, Lululemon has had a couple of institutional selling days out here. The first big one took place here. I think they had a problem with the sheerness of the fabric that they were using, and that was on the trading session of June 11th out there. That was a breakdown with volume, 28 million shares. Now, on its price advance out here, never did go ahead and close the gap. This thing here, the high so far, I believe this is an all-time high, yeah. The all-time high inside Lululemon took place on the trading session of June 10th. As it made a high of 82.50, 7.3 million shares, and then the air came out of its tires here, and that was on the next trading session, June 12th, 20 million shares. So far today in trading, they're done 4.6 million shares, so actually looks like it could actually be a day in excess of the share day that they did right back here. So you got your next big sell cycle signal going inside of Lululemon, because on June 11th they did 28 million shares. So we'll just have to see if the volume continues to accelerate at this pace here inside Lululemon. As far as where it could be coming back to, well, it's certainly going to try to take out the B point. And that B point here is the trading session from June 21st. So the high there, 63.27, and the low of that session is 59.60, only 5.9 million shares. Has not been down there to test that level, but it most certainly will, most certainly should out there. That is on Lululemon, ticker symbol LULU, with its second big institutional sell. I'm just looking back further on the charts here, see if we see any other signs of institutional selling inside this equity. I guess there was a sign of it way back in June of 2012, June 8th, 2012 out here. So it does have a consolidation pattern that could be setting up inside this equity, which would be anywhere from really probably the 52 level all the way up to that 82-ish level. So nice 30-point consolidation. Let's see, what else do we have that is moving here in the marketplace? Let's look at something to the upside out here. Let's see, percentage-wise, we got Pandora Media. So let's go see what Pandora Media is. Apparently the shareholders there are not worried about Apple Radio. And Pandora is a pretty cool product out there, I will admit. So this is gapping up this morning. Let me see if there are some numbers or something here in Pandora Media. No, not that I see. Just, they elected somebody on the board of directors, so not a big deal out there. Perhaps not a big deal. So let's take a look at Pandora Media. Let's go see what it's doing. Ticker symbol on this is P, and it is gapping up this morning. Let me make sure I've got all my active data. This is traveling at 23.48 out here. So at 23.47, 23.48. This thing is at, no, it's not at all-time highs. The all-time high really came back on its IPO date, which was from June the 15th at $26 all the way down to the low of $17.35. So it's trying to get back out there. Let's see if it's over a swing point. The most recent swing point here was the trading session from August the 20th, 21.98, 9.2 million shares out there. Up already this morning here with about 6 million shares. So it's taking out that swing point with volume out there. Very interesting, as Schultz would say. That is on Pandora Media. What does that set up? Well, man, let's take a look at the most conservative A to B equals CD pattern out here. Let's see, would that be it? Yeah, let's see, that had 5.2 million. So the conservative ABCD, the smaller ABCD pattern out here, says that Pandora Media wants to make a run to 24.15, which is pretty close to what it has done thus far, and that would be, it's gotten up to 23.75. It is in the extreme overbought territory, so don't try to jump on board that Pandora Media stock out there. Let's take a look at Men's Warehouse, MW. Men's Warehouse, they were, let me see if they're out with numbers here. Their second quarter profit is down. Of course, they got rid of the founder and CEO, what was it, maybe about 8 weeks ago, 6-8 weeks ago. And they did net sales, $647 million versus $662 out there. Operating income, I think that also, I forget the guy's name. I think he's trying to stage some kind of attack on his former company out there. He wants it back. Net operating income, $66 million versus $91 million. I'm sure he's being tagged as the reason for those numbers, or because of the changeover. And if you were a CEO taking over a business, wouldn't you like to just throw in the entire kitchen sink? I mean, that's what Steve Jobs was good at. And so I'm sure they're throwing in the entire kitchen sink here. But let's go take a look at the stock and see what it is actually doing, how it is trading, see what kind of volume is coming out of this thing here today. So we've got Men's Wearhouse. Now, this thing here had a big sign of strength back here on the trading session of March the 14th, and that's what it's trading into as we speak. Volume on that trading session, I forget the guy's name when he was, what was his name? I can hear the sound, just like Angie in the Den. She liked his suit commercials, as did I forget his name. In any event, let's forget about that. Had a nice sign of strength here, 8.5 million shares on the trading session of March the 14th. George Zimmer, thank you. Thank you to Susan Seattle. George Zimmer. And so the stock here is trading right into that sign of strength. So far today, down with price, down with volume of about 658,000 shares. Looks like the Defender. This is why you want to understand where those volume bars are, and you like to understand whether or not those people that were buying and accumulating the stock, whether they are still big believers. And so far right now, inside Men's Wearhouse, you'd have to say, yes, this has got some pretty nice support. Right down here at the low of that trading session, which it has not gotten down to, that would be the level of 31.34 out there. Right now it's trading at 35.51. In fact, let me see do I have anything other stock charts out here? So we took a look at Pandora. I want to take a look at this one right here, which is Francesca's, I believe. This here yesterday is now breaking inside the gap. This thing here had a big breakdown. This was on September the 4th. Big breakdown with about 19 million shares. And the way that this is trading now, looks like this is going to try to, this is a dangerous one because it's going to attempt, perhaps, to get back and close the gap from September the 3rd, which is up at about the 24.54 range. But the thing is that last time that this formed a gap, it never got up there to close that actual gap out here. I'm using the candle session from July 26th to the level of July 29th. I just happen to have this on my screen, and I was noticing that, boy, this thing is attempting to move and close that gap. Was just looking at it as a possible short-term trade. 877-927-6648. We've got the Dow up 1 point. S&P is down 2. We'll be right back, folks.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.6% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. And all 6 of those winning trades had been initiated no earlier than just the previous month. With the 600th weekly Gold Report issue fast approaching, Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began, and right now you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber, as this volatile gold market provides trading opportunities after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Pretty flat market out here. Dow's off 2, S&P off 1, the Composite off 2. And congratulations to everyone that is participating in the $10,000 virtual trading competition that TFNN is put together. And congratulations to yesterday's daily winners, G. Kaplan, X. Vang, O. Fluham, C. Bauer, and A. Klein. You know, folks, in order to win $100, all they had to do was just place a trade. So if you are a part of that contest, maybe you're not on the leaderboard as one of the top 10 leaders, but you still can win. So make sure that you get over to the site today, that you at least place one trade. Doesn't matter whether it's a winning or a losing trade, and you will automatically be qualified for the random drawing. 5 folks today are going to pocket $100. I think that should be you. Now, congratulations, our overall leaderboard. X Vang, he's up $46,000 in 3 trading sessions out there. I believe if I caught it correctly, I hope that I'm repeating this properly. I believe he was trading the Aussie dollar out there, utilizing the Nadex platform in order to do that. In second place, down about, they're about 9,000 in Gill. But take a look at those profits, folks out there. Big profits. W Bar is up 21,000. D Geltema up 14, almost $15,000. D Vale, $9,200 in the pocket. B Parker, $6,400. H Shell, $6,400 out there. M Mirshandani, something like that. I may have messed that up out there. Zoo, okay. Zhu is his first name, Zhu Vang out there, so that's very cool. Anyways, everybody having a great time. I want to make sure that you have your chance to win, to go ahead and win today, put $100 in your pocket. So please get over, make sure that you place a trade. And again, thanks to everybody participating, all the folks that we have inside the Tiger's Den as well, everybody sharing great trading ideas. So as we take a look at currencies here, my favorite currency pair that says, something to think about. The euro, Japanese yen. Now, if this thing closes below the trading session of September the 10th out there, and the low that we're going to be watching is 131.90, that would suggest that even if our markets go higher and we see this move lower, this would suggest that, you know what, that we should see our markets begin to pull back. So far today, with the markets only being really relatively flat, $5 and $2, kind of impressive to see that that it's very, very light pullback thus far as we take a look at things. Let's see what else I've got up on this screen here for us to be paying attention to. Well, it's going to be the VIX index. That's going to be one of those elements. The VIX index, it's below the 50-day exponential moving average here. Right now it's at 1397. That 50-day exponential moving average, that's at 1474. And so long as the VIX stays below that, this market will either consolidate or move higher out there, unless it was just a two-day wonder out there. And it doesn't look to me like it really was just a two-day wonder inside the VIX. So that's a good thing. As far as whether or not the bears could take control of the market, well, they would need net declining issues of, where's my number, 2,900. Not very likely to happen today. If we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange at the moment, New York Stock Exchange is down about 19 points. So it actually is the leader in the clubhouse. That always has to make you say, something to think about. But only 209 net declining issues, needs 10 times more than that in order for the bears to actually take control of the marketplace. So if you're off to start your Thursday, have a terrific day. And always remember this, folks. You have an amazing power within yourself. And that power, it's so strong, it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces. But most of all, folks, it'll create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great Thursday. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now. What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.